Hey guys, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. My name's Annie and I do videos on natural, organic, eco-conscious beauty. And though I've had some amazing finds in green beauty, I've also had some not so great ones, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So the first disappointing products video I gave you guys kind of my spiel or my opinions on these type of videos. And if you haven't seen that one, I would encourage you to watch it first, at least that beginning part. And I'll have that linked below, but to sum it up, even though I know a lot of people find these videos really negative, I personally find them really helpful as long as you're doing it constructively and you're not there just to bash a product. If I can, I also like to include similar alternative products or like mention who I think this product may work better for than myself. But I am going to try not to ramble as much as I did in that first video because it was really long, and we'll see what happens with this one, but I'm going to try to be a little quicker this time. So let's just get started. So right away, I want to mention these first because if you've seen my previous favorites video, two favorites videos, these have been in there. And these are the Good Medicine Beauty Lab perfumes. This is the One Wonder, and then I have samples of yellow and green. So I truly did love these. Not only did I like the way they smelled, but they lasted a really long time compared to other natural fragrances that I've tried. So unfortunately, after about 6 or 7 months, I noticed the scent started to change. And they're just not as rich, and they kind of have like a little bit of an alcohol smell to them, which I really don't like. And I never stored these at like really high heat, direct sunlight, anything like that. I kept them in a cool, dark place. So unless they mention that they're going to tweak the formula of this, I don't see myself ever repurchasing these or recommending them to anyone. And unfortunately, I really don't have a solid recommendation that I like as much as these in their original state. I have a couple I can still mention. The first one is Harvey Prince. I have just little sample sprays of those, and they're actually in my purse downstairs right now. But I have Perfumista, which smells exactly like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, if you like that. I'm not personally a fan of that. I used to love it, but I don't like it anymore. And then there's, it's either Joyful or Happy, I can't remember. That one, again, it's just too young of a scent for my liking these days. But what I will say about them is they last a very long time. I was definitely impressed with how long they wear, but I just haven't found a scent from that brand that I like yet. And then another one I do really love the scent of. This is LURK, and this is RSW005. This one is kind of like a sandalwood rose jasmine kind of scent, really beautiful. I love it. It's just unfortunately, it's a perfume oil that you just kind of roll on your wrist, and it really doesn't last that long, and it's not very noticeable smelling either. Honestly, what I've been loving most for fragrance is just wearing body oil. Sometimes I'll just use it on my upper body, neck, shoulders. And then one of them that I've been loving is Vacation Glow from Mahalo. This one's beautiful tropical scent, much similar to that LURK one I just mentioned, but maybe not quite as floral. And then the other one I love is Prim Botanicals, the body oil. This one is more of like a citrusy floral, I guess you could say. This one's really strong too, and it lasts. Really enjoyed this one as well. So this next one is a conditioner from Desert Essence, and I've heard a lot of good things about this one in the green beauty community. And I am always on the lookout for a conditioner because my hair is pretty problematic, and it's hard for me to find a conditioner that works because it gets really dry and very tangly very easily. The performance was okay, I had such high expectations for it from what I've heard. It's not the best, but not the worst, but my biggest issue with this by far is the scent. This is the red raspberry. This one to me smells exactly like Suave raspberry. It's a very cheap, artificial smelling raspberry that makes me quite skeptical that they're claiming this is, they say that they use natural fragrance. How they achieve that, I don't know, but it is very strong. It makes me feel kind of sick and gives me a headache. I really don't like it. That being said, they do have an unscented one I haven't tried, but I don't plan to because I didn't feel like this performed that great. And I actually do like some scent to my conditioners, but not one that smells like this. So if scents usually don't bother you and you like the scent of Suave shampoos and you don't need like a lot of moisture and your hair doesn't get super tangly, then you might love this one. Now the one that I found that I like the most, I'm not going to say it's holy grail or anything, but It's really moisturizing. The moisture is there that I need, but still got a little bit of that tangling issue. But this one for sure helps more than others. This is the Shea Moisture Raw Shea Butter Restorative Conditioner. It looks like this. It's actually almost gone. I need to get a new one. This is a very, very thick conditioner, very moisturizing, and I mean the scent still is not my favorite. I don't even know how to describe how this smells. Shea kind of smell, but something else in there too. I don't love it, I don't hate it, so it's definitely tolerable for me. So next up, this brand I got quite a while ago. It was Black Friday last year, and it was like a buy one get one deal, and I got 2 of the Putty, what's it called? Deodorant stick, Putty deodorant stick, one in geranium lime and one in lemon and clove. They both smell amazing. Unfortunately, the texture does not adhere to my skin at all. It is very crumbly. And when I got this in the winter time, I thought, oh, maybe it's just, you know, the coconut oil in it it's too solidified in the cold and it's just not working. Maybe it'll work for me in the summer. No. It did not work this summer either. In fact, I felt like it was worse. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. This might even make a mess. Oof. I don't know if you saw that. I'm sure you did, but like, I got some paper below me to catch this, but it just, how is that supposed to stick to your armpits? And I did try layering it with other deodorants, tried putting like oil first. It doesn't stick at all. It just makes a mess in my shirt. And I'm walking and it's falling out the bottom of my shirt. So yeah, obviously since it didn't stick, it didn't work, it wasn't effective. I don't know if maybe I just got a defective batch. If you've tried this and it isn't anything like that, let me know. Now what I would recommend in a deodorant, you probably already know what I'm gonna say if you've been watching my channel, but it's Zabana Essentials. This one is the Lime Berry Basil, what I'm using right now. And I've actually found that compared to the other scents, I didn't think this before when I first tried it, I think this one works better than the other ones, even the ones with baking soda. They have 2 scents in baking soda free and 2 scents in baking soda. By the way, their one with the baking soda is the only one that really doesn't give me a bad rash. It kind of caused a little bit of itchiness towards the end, so I don't think I'll be purchasing that one again, but this one is great. So is the lemongrass nectar, and they also have eucalyptus lavender, so highly recommend these. So this next set of products was a little bit sad to me that they didn't work out, because I really hate that when I love the company's ethics, what they stand for, but then the products don't work. And that was the case with these from OSEA. I got a sample pack they had going on for free. Really glad it was free, by the way. So even though these are just samples, I knew right away they weren't for me. First, I want to exclude 2 of them. It's actually just 3 of these that I really don't like. These 2, the Atmosphere Protection Cream and Ocean Cleanser weren't bad. I don't really have anything bad to say about them, but they also just didn't really wow me either. They're just meh. So the first one I'll talk about is the Ocean Cleansing Mud. This is a cleanser that's supposed to be great for acne-prone skin. It's got a lot of plant extracts that are supposed to be great for oil control, healing acne, and whatnot. But immediately trying this, I had a big problem with the scent. These, all 3 of these, by the way, not just this one, they're all slightly different, but they all have the same kind of scent I'm about to describe, which is going to be kind of weird. So growing up, my dad had a medicine cabinet, and he's like way into the outdoors and all that. So he had a lot of like over-the-counter, well, I don't even know if they were just over-the-counter, they could have been prescription, like ointments and creams for things like poison ivy, insect bites, itching, antiseptics, antifungals, all that weird stuff. These all smell like that to me. Like, it's just not pleasant. It just makes me think not good medicinal, not like a good herbal medicinal, but just yucky stuff. At first I thought maybe it was just the plastic packaging that had leached some weird chemicals into the actual product. But the other 2 that I mentioned first, the Ocean Cleanser and Atmosphere Protection Cream, those didn't have this smell at all. They had a really light, fresh, kind of citrusy scent, not a touch of this weird ointment smell. So for the actual performance as a cleanser, this has a little bit of a lather, and for me it had a bit of a tingling that I didn't like. It wasn't like a refreshing, invigorating tingle. It was just, I don't know, I didn't like how it felt on my skin. And then it was also quite drying for me on my skin too. I mean, I know this is for oily prone skin, but maybe only if you're very oily will you like this. I'm only on the oily side, I'm not super oily, so it was just a bit much for me. But like I said, if you have very oily skin, you might really enjoy this. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything I can recommend as an alternative. This is the first cleanser of this type for acne, oily, prone skin that I've tried. I used a lot of oil cleansers and like gentle cleansers in the past, but nothing quite in this category, so unfortunately I don't have anything. So the next one is the Red Algae Mask. This one, again, the scent, like I mentioned. This one's a clay mask, it's like a clay and algae mask. I'll say it was really easy to apply. It was comfortable to wear. It wasn't like where it tightened up and crumbled away. It just did absolutely nothing for my skin, I felt. Some of the things that it claimed to do was reduce fine lines and reduce the appearance of broken capillaries. Obviously, those things you would need more time. But another claim that it has is it can heal acne and clear out your pores. And clearing out your pores, that's something I expect in a mask to see immediate results in. And I have a couple that do that. These are my favorite detox masks for clearing your pores and healing acne. The first one, the Mahalo Pele, and the Okoko La Detox Noire, and these are so close. I like them about equally, and I would recommend either of these. Love. However, I would not recommend these for people with sensitive skin. In fact, you might actually like the Red Algae Mask I just mentioned better because it's a lot more gentler. These kind of have a little bit of a tingle to them and they're quite intense, but that's what I like. So then the last one from OSEA is the Blemish Balm, and again, the scent, but this one has a bit of tea tree to it, but I still don't like it. It still smells weird. This one, though it says it's a balm, I definitely don't think it's a balm. This is a very, very lightweight face lotion or moisturizer. Obviously, as the name would suggest, this is going to be great for people with really oily skin, acne-prone skin. But for me, this was just like putting nothing on my skin. I like a little hydration, though I do have acne, oily skin. And again, that might be because I'm not super oily, so if you are very oily, again, this could be something you like if you don't mind these weird scents. But I didn't really feel like it did anything for my oil control either, and it didn't do anything for acne either. In fact, I am very positive these products all broke me out. So the first time I used these, I used everything in the range, including the other two. And the following morning, I had white bumps all over in places that I don't normally get my hormonal acne. So that was very strange for me. I decided, since this was the only thing I changed, I hadn't used any other new products, and I didn't change my diet, so I just put them aside. And I decided to give them a second chance. First, I used those other two that I liked more, and I had no issue with those two. I don't believe those broke me out. But then when I went to try these, I tried all three of these in one day. They came back the next morning. So I'm not sure if all of these broke me out. Maybe it could have just been one or two, but it's not really something I'm willing and wanting to test out because I just don't like them. So this next product is from another company that I wish I didn't have to say anything bad about because, again, it seems like such an amazing company. It's the Earthwise Beauty Magical Babassu Facial Oil, and this is a sample. So on their website, I read that this is supposed to be good for all skin types. And then, let's see, I wrote some notes in my own words from the website. It's supposed to be good for inflamed skin, redness. It says it can protect against environmental factors with a little bit of some natural SPF in it. And it's supposed to minimize the appearance of pores, scars, and is anti-acne. So that's a lot of claims, and it seems like it could benefit so many different people. First off, to me, this is definitely not for all skin types. This, in my opinion, is what I can only imagine being good for people with dry skin because it's really heavy. So I followed the directions saying to use a small amount on dampened skin, and even with just the tiniest amount I could get out of this, it just still felt like too much. So after a couple days, I just didn't want to do that anymore, and I decided to try a different method. At the time that I was trying this, it was like the end of winter, so I had like a little bit of like dry patch in between my eyebrows, and then like maybe a little bit like right here or something. I can't remember exactly, but I remember putting like just a dab on my finger in those areas just to see if that would help, and I honestly didn't notice any help that it was doing for my dry patches. And then within like maybe 5 to 7 days, I noticed the scent of this really started to change. Initially, it just had a really light nutty scent to it. I know it has Brazil nuts in here, And then like the nuttiness got really strong. In addition to that, this has tobacco absolute in here, and I got like a stale cigarette sort of scent. I don't know if I'm crazy, but that's what I get. Ugh, honestly, like what this makes me think of, this is gonna sound weird again, like a can of those greasy roasted nuts, eating those and like being in somebody's house that smokes cigarettes. Not really a pleasant experience I want when I'm doing my skincare. By the way, I actually didn't use this much of the product. I ended up spilling some of it, and yeah, because there's just no way I could have tolerated using it this much. It's just, I can't do the scent. But yeah, I don't live in a house where anybody smokes. The person who gave this to me said it was really new, and I don't really think, I mean, I think it obviously went bad, but it shouldn't have gone bad that quickly. And then even the full size is in a similar jar that's clear glass, and I wonder if that one would go bad too, because I really don't like it when companies use the clear glass, especially when you have such beautiful products in there, beautiful ingredients. All that UV exposure can, you know, damage the ingredients, and I don't know if that's what happened. Again, it wasn't stored at high heats or anything like that, so I don't know, maybe my nose is just crazy, but it's just intolerable for me. I don't want to put it on my face. I don't even know why I keep smelling it. So if you've tried this, let me know if the scent changed for you. Maybe that's just not something that's supposed to happen, but either way, even if the scent didn't change, I wouldn't enjoy using it because it's just too heavy for me. But I would like your opinion, just in case someone who does have really dry skin, they might love this. And maybe they don't even mind this scent that it changed into, but yeah, just not for me. So for a facial oil that I would recommend, honestly, there are a lot that I've really enjoyed. But the one I chose because it's a similar price range, and it's also, I think this one is truly good for all skin types. This is the Oille Face Serum Renewing Intelligence Protect. This one I got in my Art of Organics box for July. This one's supposed to be especially good for skin that's been exposed to the sun a lot, but really for like any kind of irritation, people with sensitive skin. In fact, the owner of this one has such sensitive skin that when her dog licks her, she gets a rash. So she tests these on her skin, and if they do good, I would imagine they'd be great for most people. It's got a really beautiful green color and a gorgeous kind of fruity medicinal herbal scent. I don't know, it's just really pretty. It's got some really great ingredients like lavender, chamomile, blue tansy, ravensara, sweet orange. It's really, I think, is truly one that's good for all skin types. It's not too heavy, also not too light either, so love this one. So lastly, I got a couple makeup products, and the first one is 100% pure fruit pigmented creamy eyeliner. So I've only used this like twice, and honestly, I will never use it again. First, if you're wondering, it has the little brush style tip, not the felt tip. It is pretty tiny, and I did find it pretty easy to work with. The problem I had, and you know, maybe I just used way too much because I'm not an expert when it comes to liquid eyeliner, but I haven't had this issue with other ones. It would seep into the roots of my lashes and then even out into my lashes, completely ruining my mascara. In addition to that, when I went to take it off, it was nearly impossible. Even with a nice oil cleanser, other makeup removers, nothing was getting it off. And I actually believe I lost about 30% of my eyelashes trying to get it off. That was the second time I used it. The first time, I don't think I truly wore it. It was just to kind of test it out, and I think I only did one eye. I remember that time being pretty difficult to remove too, but nothing like when I went all out on both eyes. But I don't know, I have never had that issue with any other liquid liners I've tried before. The one that I would recommend is probably no surprise to a lot of you, the Zuzu Luxe. This one is kind of a cult favorite. So I don't know, maybe if you're really talented and know exactly how much to apply, this one could be a good option because it lasts so long. So this last product, again, I really don't like to have to say anything negative about a company, especially one that's owned by a wonderful young woman and also a YouTuber, and this one's from Brija Cosmetics. So the reason I do this, even though I don't necessarily like it, one, for you guys as consumers, so you kind of have an idea of what you might be thinking about buying, but also because I would hope that some constructive criticism would help brands and help learn what they could do to improve. So That is why I chose to mention this one. This is their Cream Wand lipstick, and this is Lula. So before I get into this, I have to mention that her actual lipstick tubes, like regular lipsticks, I'll do swatches of these later, are absolutely amazing, especially for the price. These are only $8 or $9, and the quality, the performance is so good. I prefer these to some much more expensive brands. That's how good they are. But anyways, this one, the reason I didn't like it, a couple things. First, I felt like what I got was not what it looked like on the website. Maybe it was just lighting, maybe it's different skin tones. It just wasn't quite what I was expecting, but even swatched, it looks like a really pretty, nice nude coral color. So the real problem I had with this, I'll insert a clip here so you can see me applying this. This seeps into all the little cracks in my lips, and it also clings to all the dry patches in my lips, and it's quite patchy. For me, it's too sheer for what I would expect in a lipstick. To me, this is kind of more of a lip gloss, I would say, but yeah, it just did not look flattering on my lips, which was disappointing. So I don't know, maybe for people who have more perfect lips that aren't dried out and don't have any lines in them, it would look better, but it just didn't work for me. Now, as you could guess, the recommendation I have would be to try their lipsticks because I really like them. They're really moisturizing and they last long too. The first one I'll show you is the first one I bought. This is Antique Satin, and this one I really like for the fall time. It's like a purpley kind of color. It looks really cool in the fall time. I love it for that. And the next one is the one I have on my lips right now. This is Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls. Very pretty. They're really pigmented. Like I said, they last long. They're moisturizing. All of the lipsticks, even the Cream Wand lipstick, they have like a little bit of a minty scent to it, which I really like. So yeah, highly recommend these. Only like $8. Seriously, you should try. Alright, so that concludes all the disappointing stuff I have this time around. Please let me know in the comments below if you agree with me, disagree with me, maybe I am using something incorrectly, or you think that there's something seriously wrong with the product and I just get a bad batch. I would love to hear your thoughts. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.